Your church can be evangelistic. I was doing a training for a church in the city of Houston a little while back, and during one of the breaks, a lady there, longtime member of the church, she says to me, "I never thought I could do evangelism, but what you're teaching us, I can do that." And what that told me was she had a certain picture in her mind about what evangelism was. And then we were coming in and simply training members of the church how to start spiritual conversations, meet people where they're at, wherever that is, and to essentially gossip the good news while loving our neighbors. Um, I was doing another training with another group, and at the end of it, a couple of people said to me, they said, "Man, I'm kind of relieved." I said, "Well, why? What's relieving to you?" I was definitely curious, and they said, "Well, we're really relieved 'cause we're actual introverts, and we're really relieved to find out that evangelism doesn't mean approaching strangers." Now, let's make sure to clarify here. Evangelism can include approaching strangers. Evangelism can be formal presentations, and evangelism can be programs that the church runs. All of those things can be encompassed in evangelism. But their tension was evangelism equals approaching strangers. So I think the way we framed it for people, I think the way we've modeled it for a lot of people, and even just the words we use to describe evangelistic activity has actually made a lot of people feel like they're cut off from it. But a lot of those same people are able to have conversations, bring up spiritual things, meet people where they're at, and start building evangelistic friendships over the long term with people. A lot of those same people that might shy away from, our latest door knocking campaign or passing out, tracts at the mall or some of those activities again that aren't in and of themselves bad. They're just not for everybody. The same people that may pass on those kind of activities and equate those activities with that, that's the only way to think about evangelism. Those same people actually might have some really meaningful opportunities to start conversations and to build evangelistic friendships with people. One of the main things that we've seen make a difference in a lot of churches, in churches when it comes to mobilizing their members to engage evangelistically in their communities, is a simple shift in the mindset from I have to make a formal presentation, kind of like a sales pitch, to instead I need to find a way to start a conversation. That shift from presentation to conversation can be really profound for a lot of people. And again, I'll say it again, it doesn't mean there aren't really helpful and effective presentations or evangelistic programs. There are, I've been involved in it myself. It's good stuff. But the average person, the boots in the ground, the bread and butter of the church is the everyday believer just learning how to gossip the good news. So we have to equip our churches to know how to gossip the good news while simultaneously loving our neighbor unconditionally. As we love people, as they see in our actions, Christ like behavior and attitudes, and then we verbally give expression to that by signaling to people that we're a person of faith who follows Jesus in a way that's not pushy, in a way that doesn't make people run, but lets them know that we're open to have the conversation whenever they're ready. That can really make a difference in the long term of the church making an impact. It's not always going to be a switch we flip overnight, but as people build dialogue and friendships with people around spiritual conversations about the gospel, about who Jesus is, and what why faith in Him matters, while loving our neighbors and loving even our enemies, as Jesus commanded, that will make a long term impact for the church and our culture. And we're helping with that in Global City. One is we do a workshop for churches where we come in and we do a training on starting spiritual conversations and just really equipping church members to gossip the good news in their everyday interactions in a way that doesn't make people run, but signals to them that we're people of faith and that they can trust us to have this conversation. And so we do training on that. We've also just recently dropped a book that takes a lot of the training that Global City offers to local churches and individuals, and it's put it in, and we've put that in book form. And that's also available to help churches as well. We think one of the best things to do is to have actual training and coaching, as well as to have tools and resources such as a book, and to put all this together. But you can also just grab whatever resources are most helpful, obviously. And so we just want to help the body of Christ to engage our communities in ways that are healthy, that look like Jesus, that reflect the love of Christ, and give that verbal expression so that people can also hear good news from the lips of God's people as we simply learn to gossip the good news.